Jacob, what's going on, man? How you living?
Doing good, Kevin. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm excited. We connected in Tyler's Done For You program online. I see you doing some really dope stuff in the marketing space. Looks like you're an SEO wizard.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that people got some value and learn more about you and your journey with marketing because I know it's been one hell of a ride. So thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Of course. Right on, man. So, Jake, what is your current business model and like what's your specialty?
So currently running a full marketing agency, trying to do full service, everything from marketing strategy, literally all the way to ads management and everything you might need in between, from logo design, website development, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, in linking, backlinking,
Wow.
and then going full into social media management, Facebook ads management, Google ads management, email marketing management.
Ooh.
So really just trying to hit the whole ball of wax. Been doing this stuff for 20 years. So, between the different agencies that I've both been running and then the companies that I've worked for. So just
Oh,
at this point, looking to help the average guy, the average, e-com retail owner who's, been in business and trying to get online, because today that's where we have to be. And there's
mm,
still a lot of companies that still aren't there. They're still just getting their feet wet and getting online. And it's like, well, I didn't think technology, I didn't think the internet was going anywhere in high school. And
right,
like,
right.
yeah, well, it did. So I'm happy to be here to help people really hit the ground running.
Mm,
From taking the idea of what their business is and really, what aspect of your business goes online, because not necessarily all of it will.
mm,
And work with those people of designing that experience, designing that website, and then managing any further processes, or in the case maybe educating them, because a lot of business owners are a lot like you and I, where we
mm.
want to do the things ourselves, where we
Yeah.
want to understand the real core of it. So I'm happy to oblige. I love this stuff. I've been doing it for 20 years.
And
So
so how did you figure out it was time to like, because that's one, like you just hit on it. A lot of CEOs have that moment where they realize I can't do everything by myself. What was that moment for you? Where like, I need a team and I need to delegate these things appropriately.
well, I mean, I've always believed in the team. My first agency that I ran was literally a designer and myself. I jumped
Oh,
on
wow.
board, and I was actually doing data entry for the guy to begin with. He had a client and he had
Yep.
this system that duplicated websites, and they were selling them for their client and everything else. And they set them up. And I came in as a data entry guy, and I'd fill out the form and set up the duplicated sites.
Mm.
I went to him one day and I went, I could make these really awesome. We could make some really sweet websites. And well, let me pitch it to the client and see if they'd be interested. So I went in and ending up pitching them. And long story short, they sold the living daylights out of it. They were selling, your affiliate style websites, back in, this was 2006,
Oh,
2007, way back in the
was
day.
that when did MySpace drop?
Yeah,
Do you
this was
remember?
this was MySpace times. This was your
Woo.
all of your affiliate programs. It was all about all that stuff back then.
Yeah.
888 Casino, and
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back. What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
so 888 Casino was an affiliate system you could get signed up for marketing casino software for people to gamble online. Not that it was really legit, but it wasn't really regulated back then. So
Wow.
people would put an ad on their site, and if somebody clicked it and signed up, then you'd get that kickback, the affiliate
Oh,
commission style.
whoa.
So, we built a platform that was integrating Yahoo's marketing platform and MySpace's, and trying to bring a whole product to market that allowed people to do what they do today with like
Mm.
Hootsuite, where it connects with everything and you just work in one marketplace. Uh, and then MySpace died, of course, and everybody moved on.
Tom left us.
So,
Yeah.
I left. I was working with the agency. We were doing really well. We were growing.
Nice.
We had 18 people in the office. We
Wow.
had an office in Tempe, Arizona. Everything was awesome and things were going great. And I ended up closing a six-figure contract, which was, to me, was my biggest sale ever. Was absolutely amazing. I thought I could really help these people. I pitched them a really great product. We were getting full service websites for them, whole package. And then my business partner spent all of our money in a weekend, all
Wow.
of it. And I was like, but I was promising our designers raises. I was going to get them new computers because those are dated. I was going to get our developers some new computers and then raises. Our cold callers have been doing great. Let's give them some more money. Like, let's
Whoa.
push it to these guys.
Yo,
And
that's pretty serious, man. All in one weekend.
6 figures in a weekend. In a weekend.
Okay. Couple questions on that. Because a lot of people, this is why they don't have business partners, is because of stories like that. Did that affect you in a way where you never wanted to have a business partner again, or did you just have a different criteria moving forward?
Oh, I just have a different criteria at this point.
Okay.
I really like to have another business partner. I work with this business with my wife at this point, but I'm
Nice.
still looking to bring in somebody else that might want to manage full sectors of the business and really grow this thing out, because I understand, I really know what a real artist is. I really know what a real developer is. I really know what a real salesperson is. And you can get somebody that can kind of sort of fill in and kind of sort of be a marketing and a salesperson or a designer and a developer. Not really, And then I go to a guy that I hired back at my first agency. This guy was trained by Marvel artists.
Whoa.
A friend of mine, Mark. I mean, he's the guy. I lived with him for a while after I got divorced out of my first marriage. He and I had a pad together. We'd bring girls back, and I'd be like, "Hey, dude, impress the girls. Draw a rose." And I'm thinking in my head like some 2D rose. He's gonna do some black and white thing real quick, and he'll pull out his tablet. The one of those monitors. That's tablet. Pulls the thing down into his lap and starts doing this 3D rose. It's got thorns on it. It's full color.
Wow.
It's got a shadow the whole bit, and I'm just.
That's a pretty cool play, man. I should have done. I honestly, my thing was music in college, but I couldn't really sing, honestly. so
yeah, his thing's art. So really working with guys that do art. One of the guys that I also hired, he actually works at Top Golf now as one of their lead designers.
I've heard of the Top Golf before.
Okay, so I mean they're around at this point in time. So he's doing some bigger stuff. Mark is doing bigger things for a design company here in town. He's got a billboard that's like 10 feet by 12 feet up in Japan. The logo that he designed. Clients we worked with in the past. I bet you guys have all seen those Quest diagnostic cars, the commercial, vans running around. That was a project we did back in the day at 3M. There's projects all aboard. So we introduced, actually brought him on board when I moved up here to Colorado. On board with original wraps, and we ended up taking on the Ford Fiesta project and helping bring that to the US, and then the Nissan Juke. We did programs with the Minis. We had the Fiat 500.
Wow.
The VW second.
Break that down for us a little bit. When you say you did projects with the Mini and the Fiat, what does that look like for those that are listening that want to do what you did? Explain it to us. What did you do?
What our company did at the time was vehicle graphics, and the original, the owner of the company was the creator of Skinit. So they did cell phone and laptop wraps, and then they sold that, and they came back to the market and went, well, what else could we do this with? And they were, let's do it with car graphics, but let's do it with car graphics at the dealership level. So when you go buy your Ford Mustang, you can buy those racing stripes right now. And I ended up coming on board and being their technical lead. I ended up building every single website, the backend systems that processed everything, our internal systems, the systems that connected externally to the OEMs. We had single sign-in processes. So a salesman at a Ford dealership in Vermont could go into their admin system like they normally do to order you new headlights for your car, but he could also buy you racing stripes, and that would feed directly into my system.
Wow.
And then that fulfilled the process internationally all the way through from the initial sales call, a custom graphics installation communication if you were a commercial vehicle, all the way to a warranty at the very end. So installation, the whole bit. I transported gigabyte files to Lowen Color Graphics. They're a large print firm here in the US. So they just, everything was facilitated. Everybody was using this system, everybody moving around. And, we sold that to 3M. And that was their original goal, was to build the company up and sell it to 3M. They bought us.
Wow.
2011, I want to say. And
very cool.
I stayed on with them for a bit, but yeah, it's just a great project to bring in, to work with all those people. I worked with Chiat Day. They were the marketing agency with the Nissan Juke program.
For those who don't know, Chiat Day is a really big advertising agency. They're one of the big players. Just like in the accounting industry, there's like the big four. This is like definitely the holy grail of agencies for those that don't know.
Yeah, so I went in. I met them at their office. I got to see their facility out in LA. They're in a
Nice.
big warehouse. They've got containers throughout the whole place with mini
Mm.
offices. They got a fish tank, a basketball court. You enter their building on a crossway. So
Whoa.
you drive into the parking lot, you park, you walk over, you walk up these stairs into just an entry room that's got a whole 3D model of the building and everything in it, and you just wait. And then somebody will come across the walkway, pick you up, and walk you over into the building, and you just in, and there's just
Whoa.
dozens of people everywhere, desks everywhere, meeting rooms everywhere, as far as the eye can see. Just an amazing
Wow.
thing.
And so
So
how did you, for those that want to be not just agency owners, but have that depth of experience that you had in corporate, how would someone go about that? Do they have to go to school, or how did you make those connections?
get in the industry. I was a guy who went to school and I learned what I learned, and then I just started doing it. And everywhere I went, I talked to people about the fact that, yeah, I can do anything. What do you have? What do you want to do? Let's do it. Okay, cool. I was the yes man. There was
Got
no
it.
no. So somebody came up to me and said, hey, I have this idea. Can you do that? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. Let me go, sit down to the drawing board. Worked on a project for Monster Energy, for the company that was actually fulfilling their orders for graphics. So, you go to the gas
Wow.
station, you might see like a 3-window covering of a Monster Energy ad, or like one of their athletes with a Monster Energy,
Right.
something like that, right? Well, I literally looked at the owner of the company. I was like, well, how do you get it right now? He said, well, I do it by paper. Well, let me take your piece of paper and let me see if I can digitize this somehow, some way. And I developed a methodology that allowed any random Joe salesperson to enter the dimensions of a window, the spacing between those windows, and design a storefront. And then quickly say, I want to select window 1, 2, and 3, and this graphic goes there. And then window 4, 5, and 6, and this graphic goes there. And then showcase that to the store owner and say, this is what your storefront would look like. Do you want to buy it? Buy
Wow.
and it's shipped out. Just automated through the whole system, process, pushed out. The graphics were already approved, so we already literally had the files ready to go. Just an
Incredible.
awesome little project because somebody said I had a problem.
Right, right. Let's get to that. You said you basically identified and aligned yourself with people instead of saying, no, I can't solve that. You said, I can figure it out.
Yeah,
And
and
why did you feel confident to do that? Was it self-esteem? Was it the thrill? What was it?
definitely self-esteem. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been doing development. I love development. I love code. I used to type on my wife's back when I was sleeping. It's like literally I code so much. So I'm that guy. I love code. So you give me a problem, you give me an issue, I'm going to try to tackle it. I'm going to try to overcome your issue, your problem, your whatever's going on with you. Is that a digital process? Is it a manual process? Whatever it is, what can I do to build some sort of way around it to solve that problem? My wife talks about her work with the hospital system out here all the time, and I'm just like, if I did this and then a system like that, I could just remove the need for you to have an employee or two. Oh, you have 6 people doing that?
Mm.
So I'm just that problem solver, that guy that kind of sees a problem and then sees a solution. And you're talking to me, yeah, X, Y, Z is what you want. I've got hundreds of lines of code that just suddenly have been written in my head. I'm ready to go. I
Wow.
can just jot them out on a piece of paper and we're rocking.
Wow.
I see an error, I
Incredible.
see an issue somebody has, and I go, I know what that is. That's that problem. I've seen it all at this point. That
Wow.
that's why I'm here, because I want to help it to the average person to be able to have these types of services. And if you want to get this type of experience, it's getting a formal education, getting the grunt work in, being the low rung guy for a number of years, and then doing the bigger projects, managing teams of people, managing a team of people first. I mean, you got to get to managing that first team before you manage larger teams. I was typically the guy. I worked with a software agency out in LA, and we hired 4 additional guys to join me. They did the same workload I did.
Oh.
Combined.
Okay, hold on a second, bro.
Programmers are slow, and I understand.
We got to break that down for people. So you figured out a way through automation and proper delegation to work as smart as 4 people, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the program that I use to input codes, the speed in which I physically can script all day long. I literally, we would sit down, we scrum boards the whole bit. And we would eke out, what everybody would determine, okay, well, that should take 4 hours and that should take 2 hours, and that's an 8-hour task, or that's over 8 hours. Let's split that apart. And I'd get an 8-hour task and be done with it in 2.
Wow. So for
But if
people
they
that
gave
need
it
that,
to, yeah, if they gave it to one of the other guys, it
right,
would take 8 hours.
right. And that's a lot of the people in the group. That's the issue they're having right now, is that they got into this agency space. They didn't know what they were getting ready to sign up for, and they're working 60, 70 hours right now. How do we help them? What tips do you have to help them work the way you work?
Well, learn. There are a certain number of things you need to know effectively if you want to manage your time and be able to talk with people. Biggest concerns, the biggest things that I see, like time wasters. Over the last 20 years, I've wasted more time on phone calls than I could possibly imagine, chat conversations and the rest of it. If you don't want to waste that time, if you want to get down to it, you need to make sure you've qualified your person quickly that you're talking to. And if they're not qualified, get off the phone. Now, I don't care about that, because I'll talk to everybody and I'll help everybody out, and I'll talk to you long-winded for hours upon hours. Robert Wardrop will attest to that in the group.
Yep, I can attest to that.
An hour and a half later.
Yeah, you're a friendly guy. You're generous with your time, but that's because you can be now.
Yes, I can be. So I'm in a very unique position.
Right.
My wife is helping support me so that I can do my dream, which is just literally be out there to help people, and that's all I'm trying to do. Cool. I'm not trying to make money at the end of the day. I'm not trying to get rich at the end of the day. I'd love to have a paycheck. I don't know anybody that would mind having a paycheck. I wouldn't mind having a paycheck, but I'm not here to get rich. I'm here to help people, because I keep seeing over and over and over again, the person I talk to, the retail company, the construction company, the dry cleaner who got sold by somebody for a $10,000 website that it should have cost them only a few $1,000s, that doesn't even perform well, that doesn't load quickly, that doesn't do the things they need it to do. And that's what's important. You need to focus on making sure that you're servicing what their need is first. And not just giving them a website because you thought that's what they needed. What do they need? What do they need on that website to be beneficial to them? Stop with the cookie cutter website. Stop with the WordPress and the Wix and the BS. I've never been a proponent of the cookie cutter systems and the rest of it. I know everybody and their mother will argue with me. WordPress, there's ways that you can massage it so that it's quick. But you know how to make a really fast website? Get rid of the bloat. Just all the BS code, all the extra JavaScript, all the extra CSS code that doesn't have anything to do with your website, that's going to be in that template you bought. Get rid of it all and start fresh. Buy an HTML template and customize it to your purpose. Don't put it in a CRM system. That's going to add overhead. That's going to make your site slower. That's going to cause more problems. Does a real agency go out there and use a CMS like Drupal or WordPress or Wix? Really? Does a real company do that too? No, the guy looking for the quick answer, the guy looking for the quick solution uses the quick solution. The real business gets a real website. And that's typically custom, especially since you want that website to not just be your brochure, but it should be your interface with your customer. Do you have a management system? Can they log into it? Can they communicate with you there? Can they review what you're doing and give you feedback live when they're available?
That's deep. So for those of those of you who, because we all use WordPress, Wix, all that stuff. I do it. There's a difference though on what Jacob's talking about, right? So what Jacob's talking about is the deep people who are the pros, the 20-year vets and web dev, and that's what they do is custom web dev, right?
It's custom and it's custom processes. So you've got a process, you have an SOP for what your company does. Integrate that into your own website. Digitize that process for yourself exactly the way that you want it.
That's great.
Not how the box puts you. I hate being in a box. I was get company out of a box. I joined that software firm in LA, and they were in Drupal, that Drupal box. And they wanted to do a custom interface that allowed them to have you log in on their dashboard on a desktop and communicate with your cell phone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, your mother's computer, your father's computer, your sister's. You could run antivirus, you could restart the computer, you could monitor it, you could shut down programs. I mean, this is what they wanted, but they wanted me to do it inside the Drupal box. And I went, no,
right, because there's a serious limitation. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
if you want to showcase that, if you really want to put your best foot forward, provide that type of service, provide that type of interaction.
I think that's a great model too for those providing services, not just websites, right? Whatever your industry is, talk to us a little bit about, I know you know a lot about SEO. A lot of companies want to get into the SEO game, right? And they maybe use a white label vendor or they use this, right? Talk to us about what your recommendations would be if someone wanted to get into the SEO game.
If you want to get into SEO, get trained. Find out what's actually true today, what's actually accurate and true today, because there are things that are changing. But at the same time that I say that, SEO in the last 15 years that I've been doing, it's been the same. Let that sit in for a moment. How many times have you seen a news article that says that SEO has been changed? Every SEO's got a massive change. They've been a new update. It's all BS. The core of SEO has always been the same. You know, I've already been trained. I already knew, okay, that the title of a page and the header of a page should be almost identical, if not the exact same thing. And I've done that for 15 years. And now they're replacing your title with the header 1, the H1 tag on your page. They literally just started doing that in the last week. Okay, well, that didn't change anything that I'm doing. Did that change what you do for SEO? And I know SEO people that is true, that it has changed. And they'll sit here and tell you, well, you can't have a title that's longer than 65 characters. Well, it hasn't been true in a long time. You can have a title that's longer than that. Google picks out your title already. Why did
Yeah, hold on, that's a gem. Hold on a second. Repeat that for people that were really, say that one more time.
So Google pulls apart your website automatically. They dissect it entirely. So if your title is ABC's Pet Store, but the page that it happens to be on is for dog food, it may show the dog food's name at the pet store. Google builds those titles. That result that is shown to us on Google search page result, that is something they put together. So SEOs for the longest time always told people, don't make your title longer than 65 characters because it'll get cut off or it won't display or it won't work as well. Well, that's all been BS, because this entire time they've taken a look at your title and gone, well, if this word here that's longer than 65 characters is more relevant than the first word that's inside of it, then we're going to highlight that word and make a custom title here displayed. That's been true. Now they're just pulling that same information from your header tag instead of the title tag.
Wow. Yo, I learned something new today, y'all. Woo! Yeah, man. That's why we brought you on here, man. You really giving it to us. Man, brother. So tell us how folks, first of all, how can we support you? 2, if folks want to get a consultation, sign up to, your private coaching or work with your team, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can always reach me by reaching out on Facebook. You can hit me on Messenger. You can always come to the website as well. I'm also jacob@digitalmarketingplus.com, guys. Happy to help anybody out. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to talk with you. I'm happy to converse with you on how you might be able to set up doing any of the types of services and things that I do. I'm happy to share all that knowledge. Happy to give you educational places you can go to learn these things so that you can understand it yourself. Even if you don't become certified in the technologies or anything, a lot of free education exists so that you can at least talk to your customers about this stuff, bring them up to speed. Even if you aren't doing the service yourself and you're outsourcing it to one of the other white label partners, it's a great thing to know and to be able to walk somebody through. The biggest thing that people have always done, the title tag on your page is your company name. Your company name's going to have you ranking anyways. You don't need to worry about your title being your company name. Your title should be about your name.
He's dropping another one.
So those are big things people forget about, and those are really simple things. But I can go into everything more in depth. I do have an SEO training going this Saturday that is on Meetup, guys. That is live. I only have 2 slots left. That filled really
Sign
fast.
up. Drop the link for us too.
A Facebook ads training that's coming up next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So if you guys want to get in and learn a bit more about Facebook ads yourself, I'm out training you on that as well. I do offer coaching as well for people and your clients. If you guys want to do that stuff, it's a 12-week course, and I'm charging $300 a pop for it. So
right on.
Yeah, well, it's hot. I'm not taking on 1 million people. There's only room for X number per month because obviously it takes a decent amount of my time, but I've got an entire educational syllabus put together. I've got a teacher of mine who's a good friend. We put together a whole program for it. So
wonderful. Jacob, thank you so much for being here, supporting us, teaching me a lot of stuff, man. Like, Yeah, I'm gonna go look at my tags. I'm gonna go look at my tags for real. Thank you, man. And also, you'll be in the Facebook group, guys. Check out Jacob. I'm gonna tag him so you can talk to him, and make sure you sign up and check out his courses as well.